Hello, and welcome to U-Mass Hysteria. I'm Asha Baron. Here are last semester's headlines. The University of Massachusetts over-enrolled students last semester, leading to overcrowding in dormitories, dining halls, lecture halls, and, unfortunately, bathrooms. The university continues to discourage students from applying by letting eyes and bros roam free. Unfortunately, this means juniors and seniors will not be guaranteed housing for the fall 2023 semester. Even worse, geese have been guaranteed housing. It has been suggested that the university institute a Squid Game-type competition to decide who gets housing, which is better than last year's solution of doing absolutely nothing. Reports of marmoset cruelty spread around campus last semester, spiking Google searches in "what is a marmoset" and "what UMass burgers made of?" Midterm elections took place on Tuesday, November 8th, marking the time of year when your poli-sci major friends are their most insufferable. The second most insufferable they are? Every other time of year. The University of Massachusetts Journalism Department hosted the First Amendment and the Free Press, and as a member of the press, this issue is very important to me. So I would just like to take a moment to say, at the end of the semester, collegiate reporters reflected on the successes and shortcomings of UHS. But I'm going to be honest, it was mostly shortcomings. One major complaint of students is feeling like they aren't being taken seriously by providers. But to be fair to the providers, they're no longer allowed to ask a girl more than 3 times if she's on her period, so there's really no way of knowing. The article states that non-COVID respiratory issues were the main issues plaguing students who visited UHS, and gee, I wonder why. If the university's COVID policy tells us anything, they seem so competent in dealing with respiratory illnesses. In the wake of the new fingers crossed stage of the global pandemic, the university is no longer offering COVID housing to students who contract the virus, but those who test positive are encouraged to leave campus as soon as possible. So if you live out of state, you should immediately get on a crowded bus, train, or plane and go home to quarantine with your family. Sorry, Grandma. If you remain in residence halls or shared housing, you are encouraged to isolate from your roommates or housemates. But joke's on them, because I've already been self-isolating from my roommates all year. Not because of COVID, I just really hate my roommates. Additionally, students are being told to only go to dining halls if absolutely necessary and to make their trips as quick as possible. The university has told students to just hold their breath as they run through the dining halls, and if you pass out, you've been there for too long. UMPD broke down its recent pedestrian safety measures. Part of these new measures, taking Swami's golf cart away. Over the break, many Southwest flights were canceled due to harsh weather conditions and winter storms following Christmas, leaving many travelers stranded without refunds. Meanwhile, Spirit Airlines offered discounted tickets to those willing to fly with the luggage. Over the break, investigators found classified documents in Biden's Delaware home, stored in his garage next to his Corvette. This raises an extremely important question. Should a man who fell going upstairs, not once, not twice, but 3 times, really be allowed behind the wheel? He originally said there were only a handful of documents, but spoiler alert, there's more than a handful. But can you really blame him? We can't expect somebody who forgets what he's doing mid-walking off stage to remember documents dating as far back as his time in the Senate. It's a good day if he can remember who Kamala Harris is. The White House also originally claimed that the documents were inadvertently misplaced, which is also what I told my parents when they found my report card buried in the trash. A Massachusetts school's lights were on for over a year because no one could turn them off, and I'm not gonna lie, that school sounds pretty lit. Unfortunately, the news was broken through a press release that stated, "Our school buildings are brighter than our students' futures." They didn't realize when they were installing the new system that light bulbs weren't the only thing getting screwed at that school. The school district's assistant superintendent of finance blamed the issue on the pandemic and supply chain problems, which coincidentally is also what I blame all my problems on when I don't want to take responsibility for my actions. For UMass Hysteria, I'm Asha Baron.